We're talking about Sundial. Look, I almost broke off into a song right there. Yeah, we're talking about Sundial. Now, like I always say, I know there's people going, why do you talk about Sundial? Well, you know what, because Sundial still might have a future, and there's still a lot of people that have a lot of money wrapped in it, and there's still a lot of people, even if they sold out, they're still looking at it every day, even if they don't admit to it. Because there's something about Sundial we all like. Whether it's the name or it's the aesthetics about it, we like Sundial. But I do want to look at some scenarios with Sundial and what could be next for the company. And if you're in Sundial and you're going like, oh God, I may have made a mistake here, this may be really bad, or like I don't want to be here for the next 5 years because I don't want to lose, like 300 to 500 that I've invested. Or I'm just gonna let this one sit here because I believe in the future of cannabis. I believe in the future of Sundial growers. So talking about Sundial growers and what this could possibly look like in the future. So let's talk about a world where the United States has marijuana legalized everywhere. And there's no little laws like here, when, why, here, with, you, who, what time frame you can use it. It's just like, hey, it's in my pocket. I can use it. I can go to the store. I can buy it. They have dispensers. They have distilleries, all that kind of stuff. They have stores. They have shops. That's what I'm trying to say here. And honestly, if there was a cannabis company to have an actual store, I think they would have great opportunity in having stores in the mall and shopping outlets. It would look fantastic, and it would cater to women quite a bit in those kind of areas. So it would really work out in a futuristic look of what this could be. And I've said this so many times, I love the aesthetics of Sundial, but it does cater more to a feminine look, and that's fine, that's okay. It's a very clean look. It's a very healthy look. Like, hey, I'm buying something that looks kind of healthy here. So obviously we're talking into the future of what Sundial could look like. So, the United States, they're in the United States, they have stores, they're selling things, life is looking good for Sundial. Things are looking good here. But to get to that point, what is Sundial gonna do here? Well, obviously, it's already being talked about that the next quarterlies with Sundial is not gonna look too good. Well, obviously we kind of assume that. We're still coming out of this pandemic phase here. A lot of quarters. So a lot of companies are still shooting out bad quarterlies, or just And as we know, every company always says they're gonna do more than what they're supposed to do, but they always do less than what they should be doing. And Sundial is gonna be right in that group from what it looks like. You know what? That's okay. That's to be expected. But if you're new to Sundial, know this with Sundial. This is positive news. So when Sundial had that big mark, they took stock offerings and they took in millions and millions of dollars worth of cash. So they had been sitting on that cash. Now, they have not told us what they have been doing with that cash or how much is even left at this point. But we know with that stock offering, Sundial ended up with roughly around $753 million in the bank. So the bottom line is, when this next quarterly comes out, everybody's wanting to know how much cash they do have on hand, what the quarterlies actually do look like. Did they get any better than the last ones to help push the company further and to pay off debt? Now the question is, if Sundial has another bad quarterly and we don't have any pump on the stock till then, is the stock going to drop to about 50 cents? And then if we hit 50 cents, is the stock going to survive that without a reverse split? Now, a reverse split is not 100% bad. I have been involved in 2 reverse splits. One went really good and the other went terrible. Now, obviously, if you have a lot invested into Sundial here, it could be very bad for you. But if you just have around $500 to $1,000, you can probably buy your way out of it leading up to the reverse split. Done that before myself. Now, Sundial is still playing around that 90-cent range, and honestly, that's not terrible. It's still right around $1 bid price on that. So, the fact that it's still sitting around, we're still hitting some low 80s here and there, but we're staying around the 90, close to that dollar mark, and that's not terrible. But like I've said before, friends, with Sundial, this is going to be one we're just going to really have to pay attention to, because we know we need it a lot more in the United States. That's going to be one of the biggest markets we can see right here with cannabis. And the other big move that we're seeing in the cannabis sector is that the Democrat Party is all for legalizing cannabis companies into America. Now, for you as the investor, this is great. This is big news. Whether you are a Democrat, Republican, whatever you are, if you are for cannabis stocks and you are an investor in them or use them, this is probably good news for you at the end of the day and you're all for it. But we're seeing the Democratic Party talk about this more and more. Hence why they want to is because they want to tax people on it. They want money from it. They know it's a huge billion dollar company and they want the money from it. So they're going to push it. It's going to be a huge revenue stream for the United States, let alone everything else that it leads to. So it's going to happen. You know, the thing is just like, how long can you bite your tongue and, you know, just hold on to this? And like I said, reverse splits aren't always terrible, but they can be terrible. So personally, I like Sundial. I've got a little chunk of Sundial. You know, whatever happens, you know, this sinks to the bottom of the sea. You know what? I'll go down with the ship, whatever. I don't care. You know, this is what it means to be in a growth stock. For something, take a chance on something. This is when you really have to become an investor and take a chance. You know, there's plenty of people in history that have bought penny stocks that look terrible. They got people who got made fun of for buying them, and then, you know, somewhere around the corner some good news came out, something happened with the company, and things looked up for that person that invested in that company. And that could very well be the story with Sundial Growers. That could be what is happening in the future, but it's going to be some rough seas until then. You know, friends, don't expect to see Sundial like hit this $2 mark. You know, if people are saying that, you know, be very careful of that. There's no news for any of that to happen. Something insane would have to happen for that to happen. And one of those would be they come in with amazing quarterlies, which doesn't look like it's going to happen with talks coming out of the wood shop here. Honestly, I'm just kind of expecting things to get a little bit worse here for Sundial. I'm expecting it to take a little bit more hardship and battle the seas a little bit more, because we don't know what the rest of the year is going to bring. Is the housing market going to crash? Is COVID going to kick back in again? Are cannabis stocks going to be legalized sooner than we think everywhere? These are just a lot of questions we don't really know right now. We're really just in this waiting room waiting to hear about what's going on. And that is the hard part right now with investing in Sundial, to help give Sundial that boost into the future. But friends, with all that said about Sundial Growers, listen, I really want to wish everyone the best of luck with this. I know there's a lot of people that have walked away from this stock, and listen, I get it. You know, this is a very risky stock, and there's a lot of other companies that are moving faster. They are, you know, making people a lot more money faster. I get it. You know, like I hear you, but you know, all we can do is go with what we know, and what we know is not a lot. All we know is that Sundial took those offerings, they had money on hand, they're pushing forward, they're still selling, they do their bread and butter business, and they are just moving forward, and that's all we can hope for right now. So friends, with all that said, remember, be positive, be you, and I will talk to you very soon. Friends, I truly wish you every ounce of luck on the stock market. Do not play around with that thing. It is very dangerous, but it can also change your life for the better. So friends, I will talk to you very soon. Bye everyone.